I appreciate you so much for clicking the video. It means the world to me to have a few moments of your time just to have a chance to share with you a personal experience. I want to talk about, you know, the time that I got burned. It's some of the worst pain of my life. Bruh, story time. I got pepper sprayed at the club. Stay tuned. Loved ones, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you. I won't waste too much time. If you're new here, my name is Biz. Nice to meet you, by the way. All right. I want to jump right into this story time, and I want to talk about the time that I was pepper sprayed at the club. Okay. So this is one of those, I wanted to keep it authentic. You know what I mean? I didn't want to spend too much time overthinking it. I kind of just wanted to go down memory lane and talk about it. So let's jump into the story time, man. This was some years ago, I'll say. This is some years ago, you know, just young, out and about at the club, like enjoying the feeling of adulthood, enjoying that feeling of freedom, enjoying that time in my life. It's a time in my life I could definitely say a part of me was lost. But at the same time, I had people who at the time I was connected to be lost with. We didn't get into too much trouble, but we definitely did get in some trouble. So this is just one of the more colorful and interesting nights that we had just out and about. I'm out with a group of friends. I had like a real cool homie, a female friend of mine, super cool. This is like my partner in crime. Like I said, this is the person like I would hit up whenever I wanted to get out. You know what I mean? Vegas nights. You know, I worked 8 to 5, you know, 9 to 5 type vibes, whatever. So in the evenings, go home, eat some, take a little nap, and then hit her up like, hey, what we getting into tonight? What's up? Or you know, she would have already hit me, text me while I was at work, like, this is what's popping, this what's going on, this club, this party, this function, this get together, this cookout, this what we doing, whatever. We going to the club, we going to the strip club, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I said it, strip club. If that's something you all have any interest in whatsoever, just reflecting and giving y'all my story times, man, drop it down in the comment section, let me know, and I'll record that video as well. Because we definitely have some interesting experiences going to the strip club as well. Just being young, just trying to figure life out. You feel me? I'm working 2 jobs at this time, so I'm definitely like hustling and I'm productive. But the second job is just, you know, it's a part-time gig. Just, you know, for me to subsidize my income, make some extra money, but also kind of keep me out of the way. But I still found time, you know, to get into some trouble and some sticky situations here and there. But in hindsight, it's all in good fun. It's all for the better. Nothing too crazy. Couple fights, couple squabbles, some exchanges with the authorities occurred for sure. So yeah, so I just want to get into it. So got one of my first little apartments. This is like the first time I ever lived in a place that was brand new. Just feeling myself. I want to say I'm probably about 26, 27-ish around this time. So still young, but in that time in life where I'm kind of starting to put things together and I'm starting to figure things out a little bit. Got my own little car. And my good friend, like, she lived way on the other side of town from me. So I definitely probably spent more time at her home than anything. But she would come by my place as well. But it's just I live so far off, like in the cuts. I tend to like to live in the cuts. Plus, you know, back around this time, brand new apartment complex. This is what was affordable to me. I got approved for it, so I jumped on the opportunity and I loved it. It was one of the best experiences that I ever had living on my own. I can honestly say that. So we got a set of homeboys too. So it's me and my homegirl for real, and we tight, and we seeing each other almost every day, 7 days out of a week. We probably saw each other 5 days, 6, sometimes more, because coincidentally where I worked, it was very near her home. You know, beautiful home. And she was living there by herself. So she came from some bread and her family invested in real estate. So she was out here going to UNLV. She's originally from Cali, but she was out here going to UNLV. And her family, you know, gave her this place to live in. So I want to say this place had like 4 bedrooms, master bedroom, balcony off of it. Again, newer home, amenities, just beautiful. And she was living there by herself. From time to time, she would take a roommate. Like her parents would have a good friend who needed their son to rent a room for 3 months because he was doing this, or she would have to rent a room out to somebody from time to time. But for the most part, she had a place to herself. And even for a time, when I was transitioning, you know, from my apartment to a new place, I lived there for a little while too. Probably about 4 or 5 months or something like that. And we, you know, we had a lot of great times. I spent a lot of time there anyway. So even, you know, before I moved out and all that good stuff, I was crashing there. And even after I moved out, I had the key. I still would just stay there. You feel me? We was together every day. She lived very close to my job, and this is my homie. Like, we, you know, we out in these streets together. We looked out for each other during this time. So I would be there quite a bit. Got food over there, got clothes over there, you know, everything I needed. So a lot of times when I knew I was going to work that day, we would talk the night before or the morning, whatever. I just pack a bag. I pack a bag and whatever I was going to wear, go to work in my work clothes, and come directly over there. Sometimes she would still be studying, you know, in a study group, or she would be at school still when I got there. That's the type of access we had. That's the relationship that we had. I mean, I had lived there, and that was my homie. So we had trust for each other. She knew it would be no funny business, and it never was, as far as that was concerned, right? So it was times I would be there, let myself, and she wasn't even there yet. I just make me something to eat, watch TV, kick it, whatever, sit in the backyard, post up, and just wait for her to get there. So that's how it was. So this particular night, we out and about. So I just kind of wanted to give y'all the lay of the land of the relationship. And then we had a set of homeboys too. So a lot of times it would just be me and her at the house. Sometimes, you know, we'd have visitors, you know, we'd have guests over, you know, to entertain, right? And then sometimes it would just be our homeboys that come over. And she had this ginormous like sectional in her living room. It was huge. And on low key nights when we was just at the house kicking it, playing cards, shooting dice, playing dominoes, cooking out in the back, making food. You know, we had people over there. We would have get-togethers at her house. But sometimes we would just be kicking it. It would be like 7 of us sitting on this big ass sectional, and everybody had enough space. Like everybody had enough room. And we would just like crash out together. We would just be watching movies, you know, just kicking it, whatever. Order food, whatever, make food, whatever. Movie night. So we would do that sometimes. So I could honestly say, like, in that season in my life during that time, it was like some of the best times I ever had, some of the best experiences, real cool people. And some of those people are no longer with us. So much respect to them. Nothing but love and memories and kindness and goodness in my heart about that, you know, for better or for worse. Even if we weren't necessarily the best influence on each other, we weren't always making the best decisions. We were looking out for each other too at the same time. You feel me? As much as possible. So, man, it's a lot of memories, So this night I get off work. Either I hit her up, she hit me up, boom. It's like, what's going on tonight? It had to be a Saturday night because of this club that we were at. So, as some of you all know, I'm out in Vegas. You know what I mean? Out in Vegas. And there was this section of town where we would go. I don't want to call it out too much, just for the protection of some people and just, you know, to maintain a little bit of anonymity. But I'm definitely about to tell y'all my business a bit, right? So, it was just basically like almost like a cul-de-sac of just different bars and little clubs you could go to, all just in close proximity and walking distance of each other. We would park at the bar. There was a particular bar there that we will always pregame and postgame at. And if you know, you know. You feel me? So you start off at the bar. You definitely have to know people. It was almost one of those kind of things like they would have to know your car for you to even be able to park there. Like a random couldn't just pull up to this particular bar. Like they had security. They had security that was like manning and guarding the parking area because it was a smaller parking area. So again, not just anybody could pull up there. They would have to know you, know your face, know your car, or, you know, you'd have to be cool with somebody to even be able to have your car sitting here while you at the club. So, you know, we always carpool. Really is no point in us being in different cars. You know, from time to time we would meet up if we had a little, let's say, adult appointment, you know, lined up after the club or whatever. But for the most part, we were always in the car together. Pull up to the bar first. Boom, they see us. Move the barricades out of the way. We able to park. Go into the bar. Pre-game. As I remember it. And as you pre-gaming, you know, you sending the group texts out, you figuring out who falling through, who coming, you know, and outside of each other, we also had our own friend groups, but her and I, you know, we were very tight. So a lot of times it was definitely for sure us, but sometimes it would be friends that she knew from college that would come down and meet us. Sometimes it would be people that I work with, or any friend of yours is a friend of mine type vibes until, you know, otherwise proven. You dig? So we fellowshipping. So we figuring out who falling through. We pre-gaming at the bar. And, you know, Vegas nights, you didn't even fall through the bar till almost 11 o'clock. So you fall through, order your drinks up, you know, figure out who coming through. We feeding the jukebox. We throwing darts in there. Like, we just chopping it up. Some people sitting at the bar gambling because it's Vegas, baby. The bar's always got, you know, slot machines, you know, built into the bar. If you ever been to Vegas or are from Vegas or live in Vegas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Vegas will have slot machines in the grocery store. Vegas will have slot machines like just in random places, is everywhere. All right, slot machines at the airport. You gonna have slot machines, just different places you go, different bars, different restaurants, but for sure bars is gonna have slot machines. A lot of people, like I said, they'll go to the grocery store. There's a section in the grocery store where you could just sit and gamble at, and some people prefer to do that even beyond going like to a bigger casino or something. The gas station, when you go into the gas station to pump your gas, like there's slot machines in the gas station, like no cap. So we in there just hanging out, you know, waiting for about 12:30 to roll around. When you young like that and you think you cool and you feeling fly and you wavy and you know, you got your people with you, you don't want to fall through till about 1 o'clock. You know, you want to make an entrance. So that's exactly how it was. So this particular night, me and her in the club, it's other people in there that we know. So again, it's just like one big cul-de-sac, one big circle. Like you could just go from club to club, bar to bar. There's probably about, I would say 4, give or take, like clubs in that proximity that we would go to. And like you just go from bar to bar, club to club. You could do that all night if you wanted to. And they had different things to offer, different kind of music playing, different vibes. Obviously, music is loud. You know what I mean? You don't get the best service, but this group of friends is sending a text message, oh, okay, we over here, come link up with us when you done making your rounds over there. Or you will send a text message out like, hey, I'm at the bar. When you leave up out of there, come over here. Depending on who might have been performing. If you were looking to make a connection, you was looking to meet somebody. Sometimes you had a plug at this bar over here, so you didn't have to pay a cover, but you didn't necessarily have the same connect over here, but somebody else did. So it's all about networking, you know? It's all about networking. So this particular night, me and my homie, like we are in the club by ourselves. Like we're going in there to see people that we know, but it's just me and her walking into the club. So we get in the club. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember vividly, like I had on a brand new, like navy blue and orange, like striped polo shirt. I was looking good, feeling good, smelling good. I had just got my hair braided. So before I got my locks done, the same young lady who actually started my locks for me, she used to braid my hair for years before. So before I got the okay and I knew that it would be cool based on the office that I worked in to start my locks, I could get braids. So I was just getting braids with her, and she would do me a bunch of crazy designs. Like it wasn't just like, you know what I mean, just straight backs or nothing like that. Like she would give me the craziest like swirls and twists and turns and like basket designs, like braids on top of braids in my so fire. And I had a little length on me too, so it just looked good. So I looked good for work and have always like took pride in my hair, always kept my hair fresh, had a standing appointment with her, would go regularly to get my hair done. But it was always like just challenging to have to sit there, whip my hair down and take these braids out, because she would always do these crazy designs, but I loved it. And she was doing designs and crazy stuff in my head that I didn't see anybody else getting. So it was cool. So my hair was fresh. Like I had just got it done. Either I had just got it done that day, like I would leave work early. Like I would leave work 2 hours early, whatever, shoot straight to the braider's crib. She let me come to her crib because after a while, like it could save me money. So she knew I had cool energy. She trusted me around her family. It was no problem. And since she saw that I was coming consistently, she like, hey, it'll be cheaper. You could just start coming to the crib. Just come by yourself, be respectful, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. And we developed a rapport. Like she did my hair for years and years and years. So if you happen to come across this, you know exactly who you are. Much respect and shout out to you too, just for showing me love and always, you know, getting me right. I appreciate you. So hair was fresh. I had a fresh, brand new Yankees cap, a brand new Yankees cap. And I remember that. And so we walk into the club. It's exactly what you want it to be. Like, you know, it's people in the club. It's packed out in the club, but not too packed. You know, drinks is flowing. You know, we know a couple of the bartenders in the club, so that's always a good look, because you know you're gonna be able to get a couple drinks for the low as long as you tip good. That's the game. You know, tip them good, they'll look out. One drink order might end up being two. Just make sure you tip out. And, you know, I'm seeing who I want to see. I'm in there with my friend, like we having a great time. We vibing, we moving around. So I'm the type of person in the club, like I believe in the buddy system. I don't ever think it's a good idea, and it's been a while, so you know, you have to excuse me, you know, etiquette might have changed a little bit, but we definitely practice the buddy system. Because let's just, you know, be real. Sometimes you got haters. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody want the best for you. Like, not everybody has the best intentions. You might have been talking to somebody something. You might just have a hater because you wavy. You had a bad situation with this person. Somebody you cool with is into it with this person. I know it all sounds silly now because we grown. But hey, that was, you know, the layout. That was the lay of the land at that time. So we practice the buddy system. You do not go to the bar by yourself. You do not go to the bathroom by yourself. And this one club in particular that we would go to, we would just always get a section. Like, we would just always get a section in the club. You young, everybody worked, you know. So everybody put their money in. Everybody put in their 50. Everybody put in their 75. Okay, everybody got a broke homie or two. Okay, so you only got 20, 25. I'll put the rest in on trip. We in the section. We getting a bottle or two. And this is where we posted at. So that's how we used to like to do it. We used to, as much as possible, just get a section. It was a big group of us. It was a big group of probably at least, I would say, 8 of us all together who like would kick it tough. So my homie that I'm in this particular club with, like, this is like, I would say at this time, I would say this was probably my best friend at this time. So it's a group of 8 of us. So we were just going on a section at this particular time, though. My homie that I was in a club with, I would say that she was my best friend at this time. We were in that same like cul-de-sac, like that same general area, but this was a different club. So it was just me and her this night. We were comfortable in here, but we definitely practiced the buddy system. So it's like you let people know, like, even if you in the section, we got a couple bottles out here, but this might be white and I want something dark, right? I want some dark liquor. So you take a homie with you, just grab somebody up like, hey, we going to the bar real quick. Or at least you got to tell somebody so somebody could keep eyes on you. But you don't ever like walk outside of the club, like, because, you know, sometimes you might want to speak to somebody in private, or you might just want to go sit in the car with somebody and chop it up and have, you know, a player conversation. You might want to just, you know, walk somebody to their car, whatever the case might be. Somebody may want to walk you to the car. It just depends on what's about to happen. But you always let somebody know what you're doing and where you going. You never just disappear without saying anything. I want to emphasize that, because I don't know, you know, what the situation is now. I'd imagine it can't be too different, but I be stressing that to people, like youngins around me and stuff like that. Practice the buddy system. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You going to these clubs, you out, you kicking it, like, be aware. You can't just be out here carefree and not paying attention. So with my homie, we in here, we vibing, but we also, even though we practicing the buddy system, you networking and you're conversing. You know, so you don't necessarily need to be in each other's space the whole time. Sometimes you trying to go see something else. You trying to go do something else. So it's like, okay, you standing over here on the dance floor talking to whoever you talking to. I'm back over here by the bar in the booth. We'll reconvene, you know, a few moments, whatever. If you move around, if something come up, shoot me the courtesy text. But don't ever just vanish. Like, don't ever just disappear. So we separated for a brief few moments, maybe like a half hour or something like that. Never too long, as best as I can remember. And security come in and approach. So security come in and approach me. And I'm standing there talking to him. And then I kind of get her attention from like across the club. It's not like a giant club. It's really more like a big bar. It's a stripper pole in there or these platforms in there where like they will have go-go dancers. There's a dance floor. There's like booths set up around the bar and stuff like that. So it was a nice size, but really it's just a big bar. So she see the security talking to me. I'm like flagging her down. Boom, they escorting us out. So as security is talking to me, it's 1 or 2 of them talking to me. Then it's like 2 of them talking to her. So they walk us out of the club. It's obviously the music is loud. You can't really hear what's going on, but we are trying to figure out like why, like what is going on? Like just completely shook, completely lost, like completely caught off guard. We're not in there doing anything that we shouldn't be doing. As much, you know, as we out looking for trouble. Like, we looking for good trouble, you know, not bad trouble, if you catch my drip. Good trouble. So we frequent these spots. Like, these are the spots where we come to when we kick it from time to time. Yeah, it's a hotel party. Oh yeah, it's a function over here. We going to somebody's house. But this little cul-de-sac, this area where we are, like, this is where we spend our time. This is where we kick it at. Like, we never have any problems that we can't handle, you know? So they walk us outside the club. It's low-key embarrassing. It's, you know, beautiful people coming in, like, it's beautiful women walking in, they looking around, like, it's getting tense, like, we getting loud, we trying to figure out what's going on. Security is like trying to like grab up on us a little bit. So come to find out, we are being accused of like selling drugs inside the club. Like, that's what security told us. And I'm saying this like legit sitting in front of this camera, bro. That has never been my MO. That's never been my MO. Anybody who knows me or knows anything about me, that ain't even something I participate in. Like, recreationally I ain't never really been big into that. You know, that was never really like a huge part of like the culture for me. Like, being in Vegas and growing up out and moving around out here, just as far as me personally as a grown up, I was never like a big experimenter. No, I ain't no saint. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not a saint. I definitely, you know, have popped a pill or two in my day. Like, I've done some things that I definitely wouldn't do now, or that I would not recommend to anybody else, but the times are different. And I'm definitely not like excusing my behavior. I was young, you know, just trying to figure things out. But I'm definitely not, man, just thinking about it right now, I'm even thrown off. Like, it's just so not who I am, you know? So definitely didn't have any drugs in the club whatsoever. Had no intentions on selling drugs in the club. Was not looking for drugs in the club. Like, we drinking, you know? That's what we doing. Like, that's what we on. Like, obviously, like I said, I ain't no saint, but I was just completely taken aback. And obviously they're not listening to anything I gotta say. I'm like, bro, that ain't even my MO. And I'm kind of like funny a little bit. And we standing outside the club and there's people coming in. There's people waiting online to get into the club, getting their ID check, getting their little bracelets or whatever. So I can't just let these security do me. Like, I felt some type of way. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm out here being funny. I start clowning the security. It's like I'm calling them Shrek. I'm just acting a fool out here. People laughing a little bit. That didn't help the situation whatsoever. My homie that I'm with, she a little tip. Whatever little buzz I may have had, it's completely gone now because I'm mad. Like, and oh, I gotta tell y'all this part too. So we had just got drinks. That's the other thing. And this was one of those situations where we go order one drink but end up getting two, both of us. So I got a drink and a shot. I had to sit my drinks down on the bar before I could walk out, because that's one thing about Vegas. I don't know if the rules have changed very much now. If you're walking around on the strip, you could buy drinks and you could kind of walk around on the strip and drink. You're on foot, but public intoxication is real. You're not supposed to be sloppy. You're not supposed to be inebriated, passed out, vomiting, like sick drunk. But on the strip, you can't walk around. In casinos, you got to drink. You know, you could walk around. But for the most part, you can't like walk out of an establishment with a drink. So for example, out here, I don't know, you know, excuse my ignorance, but out here at Chipotle's, you could buy beer. You could sit in a Chipotle, you know, with your drink or whatever, but you can never like put it in a cup, or you could never walk outside with this drink. You got to finish it right there. So that's what it was. So we had to sit our drinks down and we had just got them. I didn't even really get a chance to take a sip of my drink or even take my shot. So we got to sit our drinks down and walk out. My mindset is hopefully I'm gonna be able to come back in here and retrieve this. Like, I make eye contact with the bartender. They kind of looking like, but I make eye contact with the bartender as I'm sitting my drinks down. Like, I'm coming back to get these. These me and my friends' drinks. But we getting heated. It's getting tense outside. It's looking like we ain't making it back in. And they pretty much 86'd us. But it wasn't an 86 like you could never come back. But I'm talking to him. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, just for the sake of the situation, like, I'll turn my pockets inside out. I didn't have no crazy, you know, unexplainable amount of money in my pocket. Yeah, I had some cash in my pockets, but it was all like together, probably in my wallet or you could tell when somebody hustling. Like, you could tell I didn't have nothing on me. I didn't have nothing on me when I walked in the club. I didn't have nothing on me while I was in the club. And I definitely didn't have nothing on me while I was walking out of the club. It's crazy. So I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I work for my money. I did not come in here for that. I'm not under the influence of none of that. I'm coming in here to socialize. I'm coming in here to vibe. I'm coming in here to two-step to the music. I'm coming here to like see what I could see. I'm coming in here to be seen. I didn't come in here to sell no drugs to nobody. Like, that ain't even my energy. Like, at first I'm trying to talk to them like they got sense, but they not listening to me. And so now I'm just getting frustrated. They kick us out officially. Like, we 86 for the night, which even if they would have 86s for good, it wouldn't have mattered because we knew too many people in there, and I would have just gave it a week or two and I would have ended up back in there, and they probably would have never even remembered who I was. But that whole like little area where we used to spend our time, it was way too much of my life. Like, it was no way that I was going to accept just being 86 and just letting that be what it was. Not that particular spot. We just spent way too much of our time there. Like, that would have been crazy. So we getting loud now. Like, my friend kind of not sloppy, but she tipsy, drunk and laughing. But now I'm completely sober. I'm irritated. They 86ers. They told us we can't come back in. I just spent my money on these drinks. I'm like, well, at least let me go get my money back for my drinks. Somebody need to go back and get my money for my drinks. And I'm talking about my 2 drinks, which was really, I just paid for one and a tip. And then her 2 drinks, same deal. So I'm like, somebody need to give me my money back for my drinks then. I need my $40. I need so I'm starting to go off because that's one thing I don't play about. And I was a little probably more like stern and firm about it back then than I am now, but like, don't play with my money at all. Like, I was not taking no $40 loss. I was not taking no $20 loss for my drinks. It just wasn't gonna happen. I was not feeling that whatsoever. And just the way they was talking to us, keep in mind, regardless of how I was dressed or how I looked at the time, I'm a woman. Respect me like a woman. And these is huge dudes. They bouncers and security at a club, so you know they ginormous. Like, they're like towering over me, way big, grabbing up on me. Like, it just was not a good vibe and not a good experience. Not to mention, we weren't in there doing what they accused us of, or at least I wasn't. You know what I mean? In hindsight, as far as I ever knew, my friend was not, and I didn't know her to be doing that. But after all these years and just taking the time to reflect on it, it's one of those things. Maybe she was. Maybe, and I was just guilty by association because they saw her transacting or doing something, and they just assumed because I was with her. Like I said, I ain't necessarily trying to put that energy out because I never got that confirmation from her. But as far as I knew, I know I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And I didn't, or was not aware that that could be something that she was participating in the club, you know? So we getting loud. We having exchanges. I'm clowning them like we talking crazy. People was waiting to get in and they laughing. And I say something to one of the dudes. Like, I can't remember exactly what I said to him, but I turned away like this to walk away and sprayed me. Sprayed me. And it was so crazy because it was like this. You know what I mean? It wasn't like spray like this, like you might see on TV, or like you see when you watch Cops or something, or if you watching a movie. It wasn't spraying like directly in my face like this. He sprayed me from the back and from the side, all on my brand new Yankee cap. I know my priorities wasn't in order, but this is how I felt. I don't know if you understand or ever did it, but a brand new crisp, that Yankee dark blue with the white, you know, like sweat liner underneath, the green under brim, crispy. It had that crisp to it. All right. It still kind of had the little like dents in it. Like when you get a brand new hat and you sit it on top of your head, it ain't got your body heat. It ain't even got the shape all the way. And the way I used to wear it, I kind of used to just sit my cap on my head. It wasn't like it had to be just so. The beautiful bright green under brim on that thing. And you got the new era like logo on the side of the hat, you baby. So he sprayed me like this. It's all on the side of my brand new Yankee cap. And this, the pepper, the capsicum, whatever you call it, that they make the pepper spray out, like you could see the brown spots starting to like stain my hat. It's crazy. You flip the hat over on the inside the sweatband, you could see like this brown. The smell was crazy. It ain't no way you about to be able to get this smell or these stains out of this hat. Not to mention it's attached to a janky memory. So why would you even want the hat? But a new era fitted cap back in the day, you had to deal. It was like two for 30, I don't know. Them hats was expensive back in the day though. We was spending like $30 for these hats. I think you might get 2 for 50 or something like that. If you go to Liz or something, you got the Liz membership. But I'm very big on networking. Always have been. This is what I got. This is what I'm aligned with. This is what I'm affiliated with. This is what I could hook you up with. What can you hook me up with? We was very big on that. So I always managed to like find plugs for different things. So definitely probably had the plug on them. But nonetheless, hat ruined. Brand new polo shirt. I got like residual sprays of pepper spray. I feel like they got me a little more than my friend, because my friend was kind of standing off to the side. She got a bit of it too, to the effect of like it's in her hair. But see, the thing about her was Filipino, you know, long hair, you know, hair just out, beautiful hair. Like, so it was nothing for her to just be able to go home and wash her hair. But I had just got my hair braided. You got to understand like the process of that. You got to take your hair down, wash it. You go see, you know, the people who braid you up. I go see the lady that braid me up. You can't just wash it. Like, that's not how it works. You fresh, you crispy. Drop it down in the comment section. Let me know back in the day, you feel me, if you was on your braids too, or even if you getting your braids done right now. It's a lot of dope, you know, braiders and stylists out here doing the crazy stitch braids, and they starting to do the heart shapes, and I'm seeing like swooshes and like the circle, like peace signs and stuff, and people said it's crazy. I wish I'd have been able to, you know, take advantage of that. But as you can see, you feel me, long hair, don't care, locked up, committed, dedicated, ain't going nowhere. And as long as God let me keep my crown, I'm keeping my crown. It's like my baby, you know, it's like its own person. You can see why, but means a lot to me. And just represents like longevity, and through everything that I ever been through, all the like lows and highs of my life, I've been able to keep my hair up. So this is what it is. So, but braids was fresh. So I got pepper spray all in my braids. And my face is so burning. The corner is this eye, because I was walking away like this. I remember I was walking away. So the side, it's in the corner of my eye. It's in the corner of my mouth. My face is burning. And I had never really had an experience like this before. So not to this degree, not like this. So you be like rubbing it, because you don't know like what you doing, and you making it worse, and you spreading it further. I'm snotting now at this point. Like, I'm coughing. It's crazy. They screaming on us, get off the property, we gonna call the police. I'm like, call the police. You feel? I ended up calling the police, which is crazy. So I called the police, you know, explain the situation to them. They obviously, you know, they let us walk away, but it was basically a situation. And the main reason I called them, it was the fact that they sprayed us, and I feel like it was not just. And you got these 4, 5 big security dudes and just 2 young ladies. I just didn't understand why it had to get to that extent. But I feel like it was just more than like just the embarrassment and their frustration, just the fact that, and my mouth could be real crazy. Like, I'm the type of person I could get with you without even having to cuss at you. I try not to do it because I know how bad my mouth is, and then after the fact, I'm gonna end up feeling bad. But my mouth is like, it's really like that. Like, it's, man. So I'm clowning them. People in the front is laughing, like different stuff is going on. So they probably just got frustrated with us. I feel like that man didn't have to spray me. And it was the one guy. It wasn't like all the security guards was out there spraying. It was this one guy in particular. I don't know, but that's just what he saw fit to do. But we already standing outside at this point. So they're up by the entrance, standing behind a railing, a metal railing, and we're out in the parking lot where the cars is parked at, but we having our exchange right here. We're not even close to each other. So I don't even understand why he felt the need to spray me, but we were close enough to each other, and them sprays got reach. Like, when they spray that pepper spray, it's gonna fan out. It's gonna be a strong stream. And it was like, you can target it. Like, you can get it where you want it to go. And this wasn't that little pepper spray like that's sitting on some woman's keys in a pink little holster. This was one of those, it's a tall can that got like a red handle, like a trigger on it. So this thing had reach to it, and this was potent. This is the type of like pepper spray you stopping criminals with, like you trying to do harm to somebody. This ain't just to like subdue somebody. Like it really hurts. I done been through some things, bro. Like I done broke bones in my foot. I've hurt myself. I tweak my back at least a couple times a year just working out. And you know, if you lift, sometimes your form ain't the best, or sometimes you overdoing it, you ain't really listening to your body. But it's the type of thing you laugh at, you know, a tweak. It's like, okay, I can't do back for like a week, but you know you fine. You don't go to the doctor or nothing. You just rest it. You might do a little ice on your hamstring or something, but I do stuff like that all the time. I done had surgery. I've been cut open before, like staples, okay? And metal staples, like these metal staples got to stay in you for this many days, and then you have to come back and get them out. These ain't even the ones that dissolve. I had to go back and get my staples out. This pepper is some of the worst pain I ever felt. Hands down, bar none, some of the worst pain I ever felt. So I'm in the parking lot now. My eyes is running. I'm not necessarily like crying, or I'm pissed. I'm snotting, messing up my nice clothes. I smell horrible. It's one of them Vegas nights where it's cool at night, but it's beautiful. So the wind is like, the breeze is flowing, and it's wafting all across my pepper spray clothes, my hair. Like it's just a horrible experience. We sit and wait off the property because the sidewalk is not the club. The sidewalk is owned by the city. Like you don't own the sidewalk. So we own the sidewalk, and I'm telling them that you can't make me go nowhere. The club don't own it. I can be on this sidewalk. If you got an issue, call them. Little do you know, I'm calling the cops. And I ain't calling so much because I got sprayed. I call because I want my damn money. Period. 20 for her 2 drinks. 20. I want my bread. The fact that we had to set our drinks down, got 86, couldn't go back in and get them, wasn't trying to give me my money, wasn't having it. Issue of pride. We in the parking lot having exchanges. We clowning. The security, people laughing, my homie laughing. I'm kind of turning up a little bit. Shouldn't have did that. Could have handled it way better. Got sprayed. It was the worst. And I definitely got it worse than her. But I'm explaining why I know that for sure in a moment. So we like standing on the sidewalk. We sit on the curb. It probably take them like 30 minutes to come. Finally, they come. They didn't do anything to us or anything like that, but I explained the situation to them. They go talk to the security, and obviously they're kind of going to have the back of the security, but I'm trying to explain to them, like, officer, like, we work real jobs. She go to UNLV. Like, we not no troublemakers. We out here hanging out. Like, I don't make my money like that. I don't understand why this happened. We tried to speak to them like respectfully and sensibly about it. We purchased drinks. They're not reimbursing us for our drinks. They had no way of forcing the club to do that, or at least they didn't see fit to. So I kind of just had to eat that. So I'm frustrated about that. You know, brand new shirt, braids fresh, brand new Yankee cap, and lost my money. Like, I'm just out your cover that you pay to get in the club. It was just loss after loss. It's just taking L's left and right. Period. So cops let us go, basically tell us, y'all good, going about your business, but you can't come back here tonight. And he basically was like, I would just give it some time. So whatever. So we leave. My homie, she like, hey, let's move on to the next spot. So-and-so is over here. I'm just like, bro, I'm not going to see nobody. I'm like, you not finna change clothes. Like, you not finna go rinse yourself off. Like, you about to go kick it and be in people's, like, it was almost like it was funny to her. Like, kind of like, again, she a little tip. She some time went by, you know, maybe an hour and some change and went by. Like, she kind of dried out a little bit. She definitely wasn't like completely inebriated, or else I would have never just let her drive away. And she was in her own car on this particular night. Now that I think about it, because we ended up parting ways. I'm like, bro, like the vibe is gone for me. Like, at this point, it might be maybe like around 2 a.m. I'm like, it's getting late already. It's a Saturday night. I'm off work. We would have been out all night. Like, we had a lot of those nights. Like, that was definitely the vibe when we get together. Like, us, especially when we with our homeboys too, we link up at her spot, like maybe around 8, 9. We might go grab a bite to eat somewhere and kick it. Then we hit a night spot, hit the bar to, like, we wouldn't getting back home to 4 and 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of times if I didn't have something with me, or if I didn't have an appointment set up, I was just crashing at her house. Like, because I lived way on the other side of town from her. Like, I wasn't about to drive all the way home. And like I said, it was like my home away from home. I was at her house just as much as I was at my own house. So, and man, late nights and early mornings, literally, like waking up in the morning, like, hey, scramble some eggs, make a hash brown or something, and we just chilling. You know, it's Sunday, so we watching football, we watching sports. We used to hit the casino sometimes early in the morning or late at night to play blackjack and shoot dice and stuff like that. So we would do that sometimes too. So it was just like a routine that we had. But I'm like, bruh, I'm not going to see nobody like this. I smell like pepper spray. My face is burning. My nose is snotty. My eyes is red. I'm pissed. I'm not in no good energy and no good mood to be like, you know what I mean, politicking and, you know, trying to meet nobody. It was some type of like hotel party that she got a little invite into or something, and we could go to. There's gonna be some people there to see, some people there that we might have wanted to talk to. You know what I mean? If you catch my drift. But I'm like, no, I'm not in no mood to be charming. I'm like, not in no mood. And she kind of just laughing it off. And she smelled like pepper spray too. It's all in her hair. And her face is like red a little bit, but it ain't like mine. Like, I really got it like the worst. Like, I really got it bad. So I roll all my windows down. We part ways. And I'm kind of pissed at her because I'm expecting her to kind of be on the same energy I was on. But she wasn't. But it, you know, this is my homie. So it's all good. And she crazy. Always have been. So she like, well, I'm not finna let this kill my night. She's like, I'm going. I'm like, all right. Had it been a situation where I hadn't got pepper sprayed, I definitely would have kept my night going. Like, it was all about going to work. And then when you get your weekend, you kick it, you take advantage. This is a time in my life where it was like, kick it, have just enough time to go home, take a shower, take a mini power nap, eat a bowl of cereal, go right back to work. And as soon as you get off work, it's like, what we doing again? And when the weekends come, we really kicked it. Unless it was just like a low key, throw some hoodie on, throw some sweats on. Like I said, just lounge around the house type vibes and have people come over. We was out. We was out in these streets. So she was just like, bro, I ain't no school tomorrow. I'm finna go meet me something. I'm finna go do something. So she's like, I'm going to meet the boys. And I'm like, okay, bet, I'll holler at you. She like, just let me know when you get to the crib type vibes. So I'm mad. I jump in my car, roll all the windows down, face burning. I got like a 35-minute drive home to get to the outskirts, almost 40 minutes. Like, I got a nice little drive to get home. I get home, take my stuff off. I like kind of just lay it on the floor in the kitchen. Like, I'm just so disgusted. I got my hat sitting on the counter. I don't want to throw it away, but I know I ain't gonna be able to clean it. The smell is horrible. But then I get in the shower. And why did I do that, y'all? I get in the shower and it made it worse before it got better. It made it worse. It felt like it was starting to subside when I first got in the car and was driving home. But then when I got in the shower and started like rubbing soap or whatever all over, it was up. Now it's in both of my eyes. I'm snotty. It was the most intense burning that I ever felt. To be honest with you, I had to have dialed 911, but it's almost like I can't see myself doing that, and I don't remember, but I had to have, because they knocked on my door. EMT came to my house, knocked on my door. I'm living by myself. I'm in a place by myself. I let him in. My hair is all wet. I'm soaking wet, like with a t-shirt and some shorts on. And I'm soaking wet though, because I didn't dry off. I'm trying to hurry up and get to the door. They banging on the door and I didn't want them to kick my door in. Like, it's almost like it took me a few moments to register that it was them. It just was a crazy situation, bro. They come in, they like, what's going on? I explain the situation. They taking it seriously, but you could also see like they was kind of being sarcastic with me a little bit, like, oh, okay, they thinking they coming for something serious, like, but it's just pepper spray. I'm explaining the situation and they telling me, look, ma'am, it's really nothing you could do. We're not taking you to the hospital. There ain't no point in you getting in this ambulance. It's gonna cost a crazy amount of money, which I ain't trying to go to the ambulance. I'm not like you know what I mean, like a drama queen, or I can't think of the word right now, but you know the word, like when people, like little stuff happen, like they feel like they always got to go to the doctor or always got to go to the hospital. If I think of the word, I'm going to kick it out, but I can't think of it in this moment. But I'm not one of those people. I'm not trying to get in the ambulance. I don't want to pay $500 for no ambulance ride for some freaking pepper spray. Like, that's ridiculous. So they just like basically saying, look, you already did what you could do. You wet it down. You could keep wetting it down, get in the shower again in a little while, but you just gonna have to let time go by. Stop touching it. Stop rubbing it. Stop wiping towels across it. Like, it's not gonna get any better. It's gonna burn. It's meant to burn. Your skin's gonna be irritated. By now, my face is extremely red, especially more on like the right side of my face. And it's starting to swell. Like, it's getting puffy. The corner of my eye is puffy. My mouth burning in the corner. Like, it just was a terrible situation. And then after the EMTs and stuff leave, I feel even more silly because it's like I kind of panicked. I kind of panicked a little bit, but I didn't know what to do. Like, it wasn't going away. I didn't know if I was having an allergic reaction. Like I said, by then my cheek is starting to, like, my face is getting like puffy a little bit. It's crazy red. My face is crazy red on this side, and because it's mostly on one side than the other, I'm sitting here comparing how this side look more normal. My eye is just burning. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not finna be able to get no rest tonight. Like, so it was one of them situations where I kind of just had to deal with it. It was nothing to do. From time to time, I would just go in the kitchen sink, run cold water. I would get like one ice cube, wet it down so it start to melt. I would kind of grow across my face, but that's kind of how I got through that night. Just icing myself. I ain't had no appetite. I wasn't on my phone. Like, I wasn't letting nobody come over. Because, you know, sometimes on a late night, you might have company. Somebody might hit you up after the club and be like, hey, what you doing? I'm about to come through. I'm trying to come through tonight. I'm like, nah, sweetheart, like, it ain't that. I don't even really want to talk about it. But so yeah, it was one of them situations. Definitely spent the night into the early mornings, like, which it is early morning by now, but ice in my face, laying there with a cold towel on my face. I had like a pull-out couch in my living room. Like, I slept out in the living room, didn't even want to get in the bed. I wasn't trying to, just all around. So that was my story time. Got burned, got pepper sprayed at the club. I got a few more just crazy Vegas nights and crazy stories like this, but just definitely want to share that with y'all. Feel free to laugh at my pain, you know, drop it down in the comment section. You got any particular questions or anything you want to share, any crazy nights you ever had. You've been to Vegas, let me know down in the comment section. Just let me know what city and state you from, period, so I know who I'm talking to. Let me know where you from. But I definitely want to do more of these, just so you have more of an insight into me as a person, and just know that as much as I could be serious and I'm, you know, about business, I'm also goofy. I'm also silly, like, and, you know, I make mistakes and I mess up all the time. Like, I'm by no means like seeking perfection, and I understand that, you know, we just spiritual beings having a human experience. But, you know, it's definitely a good time just to reflect on memories of the past. And every now and then, just at random, I'll be riding in my car, I'll be sitting around and I'll be thinking about that Yankee hat. I'll be thinking about them braids, because them, the man hanging, you know, hang time sitting on my shoulders, fresh braids in the club, looking good, smelling good, and out of nowhere end up getting pepper sprayed. So that's my story. That's how I got burnt. I appreciate you, man, sharing this time with me. I appreciate you, you know, just taking the time out to click the video. I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Definitely don't take for granted just the love, and, you know, just continuing to stick with me as I'm on this creator journey. I thank you so much. And let me know if you want more of these, because I got more of these in the chamber. You know what I mean? You want a couple more story times. You want some more, you know, crazy Vegas nights and experiences that we had. Definitely let me know that in the section. Reach out to me. And like I said, as always, I appreciate you. And I ain't hard to find. You know, let me know if it's something you want to see from me. Let me know. Until next time, baby. We out.